Hello, everybody, and welcome to this somewhat spur of the moment live stream. We actually had been planning it for Wednesday this last week because we've been trying to do every other Wednesday, which hasn't exactly worked out. But we were planning it for Wednesday, and then we had a storm, and our power was out all day Wednesday, and then we were going back and forth trying to get it rescheduled, and we're here. We made it.
Yay!
So we're winning. We are going to keep it kind of short today, about 30 minutes. We have a very exciting announcement, and we're just going to kind of chat about the holidays and food and, all of that. If you are watching live, please leave us a comment on the live chat. Let us know where you're watching from. Maybe let us know what you're drinking this morning. If it's morning where you're at, it's 11 a.m. here, which is, I guess, kind of late morning. So real quick, let's just let you guys introduce yourselves one more time. I know you've been on a couple of times, but just in case there's any new viewers, Jen, just introduce yourself. Tell us some Christmas fact about yourself.
This is my fun Christmas sweater that has, oh no, I ripped this thing up. I was trying to show the bell. Poor God. Oh, well. That's all good. So this is my favorite Christmas sweater. Anyways, my name's Jen. I am a functional health and hormone coach, and I have been low carb, keto, carnivore, all the things, and they all did wonderful things for me. But I have recently switched to a little bit more of a higher carb. I would say moderate. I'm not like crazy high carb, but more of a moderate carb and seeing a lot of benefits there. And I'm just in the journey of figuring out what works for me, what doesn't work for me, but I also am excited to help others on that journey for themselves as well.
Yep. Hi, Maili. Introduce yourself.
Hi, Maili. It's pretty much the same for me. The same as Jen. Well, I am a nutrition and circadian health coach, and I have been low carb in various forms for over a decade, and recently within the past 6-7 months been reintroducing carbohydrates, whole food mainly, and just kind of going along for that ride. It was sort of a scary thing at first, but it's been mostly positive, and I am also looking forward to helping other people make this transition or just find the way of eating that feels right for people.
Yeah, there's so many tools that we can draw from, and I love it when people pull from all the tools rather than just like focusing on one as if it's the only tool that does all the things. So we have Happy Little 426 watching from North Carolina. Anybody else that's watching, make sure you leave us a comment and say hi. I'm sure lots of people are busy the week before Christmas trying to get everything managed. Let's see. Let's go ahead and Jen, do you want to give our big announcement? And then we'll do it again at the end right before we wrap up.
Yes. So as mentioned last time, I finally decided to create a community. I thought this was the perfect time. I've always wanted to do it when I was keto carnivore. I see everybody have group coaching and all these kind of things. And I'm like, there was just so many people needing guidance on how to bring in carbs properly, because they're saying I'm doing this and it's not working, or I have all these carbs, it's not working, and it's like, okay, let's do this practically. I don't want it to be this giant money-making scheme. I just want to be able to help people. So I created a community called the Metabolic Shift. As we shift, like we want to be metabolically flexible. We don't want to just be all fat burner, all sugar burner. We want to find that proper shift. So Metabolic Shift is officially open, the free community part. If you were on my wait list, you have an email sitting in your inbox currently. Check spam, junk folder, all that stuff. But also, I believe, Neely, you have a link in the description if you would like to join, completely free. It's on the app called School, SKOOL, which is really fun. It has a similar Facebook feel, so it's not a lot of new stuff you have to learn. If you've been on Facebook, then you know how to navigate this, but there's a lot of fun things that are coming with it. There's a lot of perks. It's going to be gamified where, the more you interact, the more freebies you get. different things like that, and just really want it to be a supportive place for each other. It's not an exclusive high carb way of eating, but it's also not just carnivore keto. We really want to help, like Maili said, help you find what works for you. Where if you're carnivore currently, okay, great. Where do you want to be? And how can we guide you to that part? Do you want to stay carnivore for life? Is that truly your desire? And if not, how do we get you to that place where you want to be? So that being said, Maili is also going to be a coach with us in that group. Neely will be in there just having fun with everybody too.
Just a cheerleader. Just a
Just a
cheerleader.
cheerleader. She'll be one of the moderators. I just labeled her that. So but yeah, we'll have that for the free community. And then January 1st will be when the premium and the VIP levels open up. So premium level is the metabolic masterclass, where you will receive some lives throughout the month. And those will be primarily education focused. The VIP room is the coaching room where you'll get personalized coaching from Maili or myself, and helping you with your macros, with how to reintroduce foods, maybe what testing we might suggest if that's necessary. Maili specializes in circadian and quantum health, so we'll be bringing that into the picture as well. Seasonal eating. I mean, it's just the whole thing. Like, you are fully getting the full gamut. You're not getting a specified keto carnivore or a specified high carb. We're just well-rounded. Let's find what works for you. So I am super stoked to get this going.
Yeah, and I love that you guys both have experience with, well, you have experience with all different kinds of diets, but you have experience with keto and carnivore, and then now you're getting more experience with the high carb. So it's not like you have a lot to draw from, I guess, which is great.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then we'll also be getting, eventually, as this continues to build, there's going to be more things added to it also. So there'll be courses that I eventually add. I can't make a course in 1 month, so so that'll come eventually. But we'll also have exclusive guests that we want to bring on that will only be for the community. I'm still deciding what level that one will be, but
Yeah.
it'll be in there. There's other things too that I can't remember.
Yeah, but I also love that there's the free community that you can just be in. You don't have to worry about, getting completely cut off if you end up not being able to spend the money 1 month or
Right.
something. You still have access to sharing and posting and, posting pictures of your meals and commenting on other people's things. So I really love that inclusivity, because I know that there are a lot of people that can't commit, especially not, continuously, to a monthly fee. So that is fantastic. I wanted to say hi to Michelle Campbell and Nancy from Syracuse, New York, and then the Cat Lady Book Nook from Georgia, and then Straight Folks. Hello. Anyone else listening live, go ahead and comment. Let us know that you're watching and where you're watching from. Okay, so we all have been in like the diet health world, trying to be healthy, trying to be, skinny, trying like all these different things wrapped up in this health, wellness community that we've been in for so many years. And I feel like there's a bit of a friction between this desire to be healthy and the holidays. And we want the holidays to just be this wonderful, magical time. But for a lot of us, having issues with either disordered eating or just, trying to live a healthy lifestyle, there can be this also like negative side to the holidays, where you're kind of fearful, or you're worried that you'll lose control. You feel kind of out of control when, your schedule is different and you have all these different parties or whatever, and you feel like you're being tempted to do things that you don't want to do. And so I kind of wanted to chat with you guys about your relationship with the holidays now, or how you're approaching it now, maybe versus how you have in the past, and kind of your journey with that. And yes, if there's any advice for people as they're trying to navigate this time that has that kind of those mixed feelings there, any advice would be fantastic. Let's go with Maili first. If you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah. So I feel like I've been all over the place with eating and holidays over the years of trying, always chasing health. I have done the binge and felt guilty and then sort of, thrown everything out the window. And then it's weeks that will go by and I'm eating all the things that I've I have done okay, I'm going to fast the days before and after so I can eat whatever I want. Don't recommend that. And then I feel like this year I'm kind of more in I'm just going to enjoy the foods that I have the opportunity to try and not feel guilty about it, not shame myself for having them. And I feel like so far, I don't know how this is going to go through the rest. We have another week. But so far, just giving myself that permission to just enjoy myself, it's taken the pressure off. And I haven't felt the need to, one, binge, and then also compensate in other ways because of a binge. They're just, the guilt and the shame has gone out the window. I also feel that since I've added carbohydrates back in, it's taken a lot of the, not even temptation, but the allure of some of the things that I would, be white knuckling, trying to avoid, or just having a couple bites of. It's like now I can have a few bites or the whole cookie or whatever it is, and I feel satisfied and I move on. And it has not really ever been that way for me before. So my goal is to look at the food around the holidays as nourishment for my soul, obviously not going crazy, but I don't want to go crazy at any point during the year. I just want to enjoy things and then just move on with my life. So yeah, I don't know that I necessarily have any concrete advice because I think we are all different and we're in different places in our journey. The only thing that I would suggest is just maybe try to recognize that guilt and shame and as much as let it go.
Yeah, that's really good advice. The guilt and the shame, it's such a double-edged sword because I feel like we feel like that guilt and shame should help us to make better choices. And so it's like, oh, I should beat myself up for my bad choices, but it really it fuels more of the bad choices, which is really strange. Like why why would that happen? So yeah, getting to the root of that and kind of nipping that in the bud, I think is really important. Jen, what do you think?
So I don't think I've ever had like massive, binge restriction issues or anything like that. I have had the typical where like, wow, this ultra processed food tastes incredible and I want to finish the whole bag. Like I think we've all had that, the bliss point, the way they make it. But it's been interesting. I think keto and carnivore has helped me learn how to say no to foods that don't make me feel good. Like that's one thing I can take from that time of my life. So now it's not so much that, oh, I can eat whatever I want. I'm still in that arena of, if we were just talking the other day where I'm like, you know what? I need to start saying no to greens again for a little bit because I'm trying to figure out if that's causing certain issues with me. And not that I'm buying, store-bought bread and all that stuff. We do sourdough, but I also mill my own flour and stuff like that. So like, let me just take that out again, see how I start feeling and, just playing around. But as far as like the treats right now with holidays, my son's hybrid school did a St. Nicholas market where we had to bake cookies or treats or whatever. And then the kids go around and pick what they want and brought it home. And so of course I have this box of home baked goods from other families. And I think like Maili said, I don't feel this temptation to finish the whole box. I can have one and enjoy the taste and the texture and everything about it and move on. It's kind of strange and surreal for me because usually those things, like I said, like you just want to keep eating them, but something has shifted in me. And I don't know if part of it is, the nervous system regulation, my cortisol balancing out, all those kind of things where now it's just, okay, I can take pleasure that this was something someone baked out of love and care and all that stuff, and just enjoy the moments with the family. And yeah, I too say that, I echo what Maili says, where everybody's in a different place and not everybody is there. That's just where I'm at currently. And yeah, I was just going to talk to my kids today and be like, hey, what do you want for Christmas morning breakfast? Like, if they want waffles or pancakes or whatever, we'll make it and we'll enjoy it together. And then I move on after that and get back to my regularly scheduled program.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like what you guys are describing is food freedom.
Yeah.
Because there's different levels of freedom, I guess. And one way that we can think about it is like an alcoholic, one level of freedom that they have is abstaining from alcohol. But then there's this whole other level of freedom that I would argue would be better if you're able to get there. And that is to not care about the alcohol, or to have it not, control you that much. And I feel like that's the shift that I've made in the last year or so, where it's not, the freedom that I have is not from the control, but from letting go of control and then not having it control me. So every year we make truffles. That's what we give out as gifts to neighbors and friends and family. And it's always like a, week long or more thing in December where it's just chocolate, chocolate all over the house for a week. And, and I've done this every year since, all my kids were little. And so I've been through a lot of different, diets and things while, doing this tradition. And I remember coming to the point a few years ago when I was low carb and keto, where I realized that as soon as I had the first truffle, I ate the first truffle, like it was all over. Like the floodgates opened and I felt like I couldn't control myself around it. So I was like, and I've never been one to 100% abstain from things. Like I think there's something important about sharing things with family, especially when it comes to food. So I was like, I wasn't going to say I'm never going to eat a truffle again, but I realized for myself that I needed to like wait. Don't have a truffle right at the beginning, or else I just will be eating truffles for the entire week, And so I was like, well, I'm going to have one, but I'm going to have it at the end. And I had to kind of control myself and feel like as soon as I had that one, all bets are off. And then contrasting that to this year, making the truffles, we started making truffles and I didn't even like think about it. Like I didn't even think about, oh, should I have one? Should I not have one? I want one. They weren't calling my name at all. And like, I think, we made some and I had one and it was just like, it felt so normal where I was just like, I'm enjoying it. I try a little bit of it if I, want to taste the flavor or whatever. But it's not like it's calling my name, and every time I get hungry, it's like, oh, I need to go have that out of the fridge. And it was just such a different place to be in. And I think a lot of us, I definitely in the past thought about the psychology behind it, the like, oh, the holidays are about being with people. It's not supposed to be focused on food, and you like work through all the emotional side of things, and that's important to do. But for me, I found that only went so far until I dealt with like the physical side of it. And for me, the physical side of it is giving my body enough carbohydrates on a regular basis that my body doesn't overreact to that first bite of something sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And so and I did this, and I see other people like putting so much effort into, I need to work through all of my issues around food. And I am just this way, or like all this emotional side of it. And I'm like, that's important. Like, I don't want to discount that. That is a piece of it. And I'm glad that I work through, my things from that respect. But for me, I found that as as big as that, or maybe even bigger, was the physical, just eating enough carbohydrates on a regular basis to not have my body go into that all or nothing kind of a place. So anyways, that's what I've kind of noticed with my my holidays so far. And I will say that like we talked about earlier, keto carnivore is a tool, and it's a tool I've used, and it's a tool we still value. And so I think knowing yourself and knowing where you're at is so important, because like in previous years, I knew where I was at, and I knew that if I had that first one, all bets were off. That was an important piece of information to know based on, where I was coming from. And so I would encourage everybody to know where you're coming from. If you are coming from a place of keto and carnivore, trying to have food freedom in that same way that maybe we're describing, that may not work out the best. Maybe there's, some steps in between here and there. Or, if carnivore or keto is your life choice, then, doing whatever it takes to stick with that. Like, you don't have to follow, one or the other because someone else is. You can, know yourself and make the choices that are right for you in whatever stage you happen to be in. Yeah.
Bravo. I guess that's the end.
Yeah. So what do you guys have plans for, like a meal for Christmas, or like what kind of, let's talk about food. I feel like we talk about food every time we get on.
I think that's
like,
what a lot of people want to hear, though.
Yeah. What are you excited about? Or do you have that planned, or someone else, cooking Christmas dinner, or yeah.
Well,
Jen?
we
go ahead.
No, go for it,
me? Yeah.
Yeah.
We are. My family has always done Christmas Eve, like a big Christmas Eve dinner. And the dinner, it's fine. We make a lasagna, which I've historically made with almond flour noodles. And I was actually thinking, I still need to do that this year. I'm going to, though, because it is really good. But the thing that I look forward to, and I'm really looking forward to this year, because, working on letting go of that shame around the food. My mother is Danish, and in her family, the way she grew up, they would make a special kind of rice pudding. It has almonds in it that are chopped up. It's not your typical rice pudding. That whipped cream is actually kind of not the base, because rice is the base, but that it makes it really fluffy. So it's not like this dense rice pudding. It's a very fluffy, light, although very high in fat. But what's fun about it, it tastes good. What's fun about it, you have all these chopped, blanched almonds, so the skin is removed, and then there will be one whole almond in the bowl, and everyone has to dish out their own bowl, and you eat you work through the entire main dish until it's completely gone, and whoever gets the whole almond, they win a little prize at the end. And if you get it during the eating process while there's still actual rice pudding in the main bowl, you're supposed to try and hide it. So it's just a fun little game, everyone trying to figure out who has the almond and telling stories of who had it last year. And it's silly fun. And I am so excited. We also get colorful sprinkles. That is a very important part in my family, is having the, horrible food dyed, the red, the green sprinkles to put on top. So anyway, I am very much looking forward to the rice pudding and just partaking without feeling guilty about it, or just eating like a small amount and hoping that I get the whole almond in my little teeny tiny.
Yeah. It's so funny because my family is Danish on my dad's side, and we've talked about this before, but like we have it's very, very similar with the finding the almond and the almond present. I need to get your recipe though for the way you make the rice pudding, because the way that my grandma always made it wasn't with the whipped cream. We would pour cream and cinnamon sugar on top. But we need to exchange some things. But yes, we have the same Like, I remember when I got the almond, I've only gotten it once in my life, and I was, like, 6 years old. And it's like a core memory in my mind of getting the special prize for finding the almond, and everybody pretending like they have the almond in their mouth if they don't, and then pretending like they don't if they do. It's so funny how we have that same
I know
childhood thing.
it's so much fun, and my kids love it, and yeah.
Yeah, and this year, we haven't done it the last couple of years because we haven't gotten together with my family, but this year they're all coming over to our house, and we're gonna do the whole Christmas Eve dinner and everything. So I'm excited about that too. So it'll be fun to know that you're doing it and that we're doing it the same. Yeah. All right, Jen, what about you?
I have not planned it yet, but it was on my list for today. So over the number of years, we've actually been going to Florida the day after Christmas to visit my family that's there, including my grandmother. However, she has passed this year, so now we're just going to my aunt and them. Not just, but I mean, she won't watch this. So, but anyways, so we're going down there on the 26th, which makes Christmas a little busy. But I'm thinking, we'll do our church stuff Christmas Eve, and then Christmas will have like a fun Christmas breakfast and maybe like an early dinner brunch kind of thing. I actually had lasagna on my mind. So it's funny because I found some sourdough lasagna pasta things. So I was like, oh, I want to kind of try that. I haven't made lasagna in forever. That and then rice pudding was also on my list. But one of the ones I would like to do is I'm part Portuguese, so I'd love to do some of the Portuguese traditions that I haven't been able to do being keto and carnivore. So one of them is, I'm gonna butcher the name, but it's like bolo rei, which is the Christmas King's cake, and it pretty much almost looks like fruitcake, but has a little bit of a different. It's not fruitcake. It's bread with the pieces of fruit in it that represents the jewels in the crown and stuff. So I just want to bake. I don't bake very often, and I want to enjoy the baking and create stuff. And probably won't do a lot of it Christmas Eve, Christmas, but once we get to Florida, I know my cousins over there love all the baking stuff. So I'm hoping that I'll probably bring some ingredients that I use here and do some stuff there. But we don't have anything like solid in the books as to what to do. We'll probably, if I don't do the lasagna, we'll probably get a roast or find one in the freezer. And that's a typical with whatever sides, green beans, mashed potatoes. I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. But it's like you said, there's that freedom where I don't feel like I have to plan it so much according to the way I'm eating right now, because I know it's a special day. And we're saying, I was in that same mindset you were saying, where it's like, oh, it's the people we surround ourselves around. But you go through history and all special events have food as well. Closely intertwined in it. And there's a reason. And it's like when there is a wonderful feast such as Christmas, like we want to enjoy it mentally, spiritually, physically, all of that without feeling that restriction. So there's partially that, but there's also, in those feast days, they bring out the best of everything. They bring out the fat, they bring out the lamb, they bring out, all the good stuff that they've saved. So I feel like I could get scriptural a little bit here, but I won't. But that's what goes through my mindset of it, is this is a great day to celebrate. And we shouldn't, I will a little bit, if you don't mind. We shouldn't fast when the bridegroom is present. That's kind of what goes in my mind, right? Like we are celebrating the birth of Jesus, and if that's your jam, but that is what it is. And I'm not going to restrict myself on the day. I'm going to celebrate because it's a thing worth celebrating. So
yeah. And it's interesting. I have found with myself that when now that I'm in this place of kind of feeling myself with all the different macros, when I do feast or indulge in, the special food, I don't actually think about food more. It was back when I was restricting that my mind was more consumed with it. And so now when I, am not worrying so much about keeping everything super strict, I'm actually able to focus on people more, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't think. It's all these like things that you wouldn't think. So for us, we are going to do our Christmas Eve dinner with the rice pudding as the first course, and then we do stuffed spare ribs for the main course, whereas pork spare ribs stuffed with prunes and apples. And so you have 2 racks, and then the prunes and apples kind of cook in the pork fat in between, and it's so good. And then mashed potatoes and green beans and stuff like that. So that's Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day, we're going to do charcuterie Christmas. I talked about this on a video yesterday, but just keeping it really simple, things I don't have to cook, lots of fun treats, crackers and cheese and salami. And I'm going to make Chex Mix. That's been a new tradition. I resisted it for so many years because I'm like, it's just terrible for you. But now I'm like, it's Christmas. And everyone loves it so much. And so I make Chex Mix, and we have that, and just have kind of a lazy Christmas day without too much cooking, and just watching movies and stuff like that. So that is our plan, and I'm excited about it. Jen, let's talk again real quick for anybody that popped in late about the community, and then we will just wrap up.
Sounds good. Yeah, so if anybody that missed it, the Metabolic Shift community is officially open. The community portion of it is free. So the link is in the description. Neely's putting it there. But you can click on that, join. I highly suggest you download the app once you join the community. That way it's easily accessible. You're getting the notifications. We just really want to uplift people and support everyone on their journey to wherever that is. So if you're keto or carnivore, we're not going to poo-poo you and say, shame on you, you need all the carbs. We're going to support you wherever you're at, to that destination of where you want to be. So there's that, but we have little tags so you can share your recipes. Maybe someone's like, I don't know what to do with carrots. What can I do with carrots? Like, there's recipes like, hey, let me search in here carrot recipes. Obviously there's not going to be a lot in the very beginning. It'll be building as we go. But you can ask, does anybody have suggestions for recipes with carrots? And we'll throw all the things we've got.
Add to that one.
Yeah. So there's that, the recipes, there'll be wins that we'll be sharing. My little one is knocking on the door. He doesn't hear me talking. There's recipes we'll be sharing, the wins, motivations, workouts, all kinds of stuff. Like, one thing I forgot to mention is the mini challenges. That will be in the premium level. So the premium level is the education level, but we're also going to throw in challenges each month. So, for example, we'll do like a tracking month. Let's track and see where you're at. And, we'll kind of guide you on there. We'll do even simple things like squatting challenge. Let's get some squats in every single day. How many did you get? So the free community, and then we have the premium that will be primarily education focused along with those mini challenges. And then the VIP will be the coaching room where you get personalized help from myself as well as Maili, weekly calls. That'll be small group coaching. So we are going to limit the VIP to small so that we can definitely help everybody to the best of our ability. I'm thinking seats will be limited to 10 to 15 at most. And if we get more than that, then we'll add a second call in each week. But yeah, there's other things, expert guests, etc. VIP room, the VIP and the premium will be open January 1st. Free community is open now.
All right. I put the link in the live chat. It's also in the description of the video, so everyone can check that out. And it's free to start out, so you don't have no strings attached. We just want to build a community to support each other and share our journeys and all of that. So I think that is going to be it for this stream. Thanks to everyone who joined us live. Hope everyone has a really wonderful holiday, no matter what holiday you happen to be celebrating. And I hope that, whatever food freedom means for you, I hope that you have that. And that is just a joyous, joyous time. All right. Bye, everybody.